Let's talk about Gardaland, #1 theme park in Italy. I'm going to give you an overview, tops and flops, talk about the attraction, and of course Jumanji, the brand new dark ride for 2022. Gardaland opened in 1975 and it became part of the Merlin Group in 2006. It's a really well-balanced theme park because it's got really good coasters, dark rides, but also interesting attractions and land for kids like Fantasy Kingdom or Peppa Pig Land. The offer is made of several coasters, out of which probably the top highlights are Oblivion, which is a version of the Alton Tower one on steroids because it's got 2 inversions, and Raptor, which is the twin of Stealth of Thor Park. There are then dark rides. One is called I Corsari, which is a kind of Pirate of the Caribbean that kind of set a new standard when opened back in the days. And then there was one based on Egypt, which has been now converted into Jumanji the Adventure. The park has always been known for attention to details. There are some standard water rides in standard layout that, thanks to an out-of-this-world theming, turn the experience to a much higher level. Thematization of Jungle Rapids or Atlantide or the family coaster, the Coma Mammoth, are really well done and impressive. The park has got a theater as well, which has got now on a really nice show, which is a mix of music and aerial acrobatics. And there are some heavily themed kids-focused areas like Peppa Pig Land or Fantasy Kingdom, which has got actually a twin in Port Aventura in Spain. All the areas have been designed by Mazzoli, which used to work for Disneyland Parks, and unfortunately after the Merlin acquisition we saw a kind of different pace in terms of investment and theming in general. A Lego-themed water park has been recently added. It looks nicely done, but for a unknown reason, this is part of the theme park itself, and you need an entry ticket for the park to get into the water park, and access is exclusive for kids and is not for everyone. Before moving to Jumanji, let me share with you the new burger. Well, after 3 years of pandemics, I'm not really sure about this. Let's talk about Jumanji. So this is a dark ride made of 6-seater vehicles that go around the path inside an existing building, which was the old Egyptian building. The ride, it's not intense, but it's really well done. It's a massive interaction in between sounds, effects, projection, videos, movements of the vehicle itself. Don't bother about watching POVs of this one. Unless you are there riding it, you are never gonna get the same experience. I particularly liked the ride itself, and you can do it more and more, and it keeps delivering. I also liked how they used an existing building and made it coherent and consistent with the new theming. While you're queuing outside, there is going to be music, there is going to be a fountain show, and everything kind of builds up the hype until you get into the ride. Inside there is going to be a pre-show, and then you're going to onboard your SUV. For the launch, they even created commemorative sugar sachet. How sweet! Overall, it's a really nice dark ride. If you've been to Alton Towers, could be a kind of a Grandsta Granny on steroids with a much bigger investment. Talking about the investment, they claimed 20 million investment, which is hard to believe. Guys, the Smiler at Alton Towers was 18 million investment. This one is a much simpler dark ride in an existing building. I think it's a bit of a press release boutade. Overall, is Gardaland worth a visit? Definitely yes, especially if you never visited before, you're gonna be impressed by the park itself. If you've seen the park when it used to be an independent one, you might see a bit of a different pace and attention to details nowadays. There are lots of Merlin classic things that if you are a park enthusiast and you saw Gardaland back in the days, you might not be 100% happy about. So for example, some areas of the park open 1 hour or 2 hours after the official opening time of the park, and they include attractions like Jumanji or Kung Fu Panda that tend to have massive queues. The queue on Jumanji has been a drama. Around Easter, it went up to 3 hours. The park used to have a queue management app used during COVID that allowed you to book your slot even with a fast track ticket or without. They decided not to use it anymore, but I think for attractions like Jumanji, this would have been beneficial. Instead, they are pushing and trying to sell express tickets, so fast track, just because they want to make money. This is Merlin classic. And then there are sponsors and logos all over the place. Too many sponsors in your face, in the queue line, on the attractions. This makes the whole experience really cheap. You feel more like the duty-free in the airport rather than in a theme park. And again, unfortunately, this is Merlin classic. Apart from the massive investment on Jumanji, the park needs a bit of TLC. There are lots of details missing, things that are not working anymore. A bit of maintenance and refresh of the theming and of the details would be much needed. Overall, Gardaland is still the first park in Italy and is definitely worth a visit, and it should be in your bucket list. If you're planning to visit Gardaland, I'm gonna publish a couple of videos to explain how to select the best day with no queues and how to plan your trip in terms of flight, transportation and accommodation. If you like this video, please subscribe and see you soon!